Welcome to Weight Loss Wednesdays. A few people are joining. Hello. I love doing these videos. Hello. They're fun to edit and record, do some nice clips and then just throw the highlights on Instagram, and then the full episode I usually put on YouTube, filmed at a little bit higher quality for future reference. I was going to wait for a few more people, but I think I'm just going to get started. I like to make these videos brief and to the point. Today is supplements for weight loss, and it's kind of controversial. It's sort of an area that we need to clarify. Is supplements useful for losing weight, and in what context? So I discourage people from thinking that a supplement is just going to make fat disappear from their body. There are some that they have claims that they do that, but it's not really the style of practice that I want to adopt or encourage with my patients. And I feel like if you are using a supplement just to take a shortcut, there's probably consequences to that. And that's not to say that supplements don't have an amazing role in the weight loss journey, but I want to dispel some myths or concepts that a supplement is just going to, you take a pill, it burns your fat, and you don't have to do anything different. It's not conducive to general health. So what I like to educate people is what are some of the categories of supplements that historically people like to label as a weight loss supplement. Often these are the ones that on media or in the news, they get a lot of negative press because they are often, they make claims that are sometimes unsubstantiated, or even if there is justification for a supplement to have a claim of, reducing body weight, typically it does so in a non-constructive manner, meaning it's not correcting or changing a lot of the physiology that's leading to the weight gain in the first place. So a lot of them, they tend to be in what's called a metabolic booster or a thermogenic. So there's certain herbs. Some of them are caffeine based, some of them green tea extract, and they're usually in a formulation. A lot of times they'll be promoted as a fat burner or something that's going to give you a really big metabolic upregulation, pretty much making everything work faster. It puts your body in a sympathetic overload, meaning your nervous system is literally being on 10 coffees. That equivalency. And so what it's doing is stimulating metabolic function at a cellular level to increase to the point where you are burning calories doing nothing, essentially. It may also contribute to an improved workout effect or efficiency. Some people do even a pre-workout that has some of these cofactors in there. These are the ones that usually people run into issues where they have, they feel like they need to rely on it, or it just has some negative effects on their nervous system, their blood pressure, their heart rate, cardiovascular health. So we tend to really try to push those aside, especially if someone's trying to legitimately lose weight. Another component or a category for weight loss supplementation has to do with blood sugar regulation. And it's an area that I am very passionate about, but I try not to exclusively focus on supplements that are meant to kind of divert carbs out of the body. We're not trying to pull an Ozempic where we're sort of just upregulating an enzyme to burn calories, burn fat, and stop the storage of carbs as fat, even though that is a beneficial focal point in a general health scheme. You don't want to just take a supplement that's just going to divert carbs out and just burn and have a deleterious effect on all these other physiological functions. So these are sort of pitfalls, and I try to get people to steer away from the bad kinds of supplements that are trying to do that. Other ones that are just sort of considered fat burners, or that they're supportive of the liver, like CLA, certain amino acids, and even some medications, they have claims that they're going to help with liver function and burning fat at a higher rate. And sometimes they do do that. They are found to have this beneficial effect, but not significant enough to lean on it as a sole source of weight loss. Often it's in conjunction with diet and exercise, which is really the whole point of this series. The other category I want to touch upon is like supplementation with fiber. Various types of fiber are used to help make you feel full or help to reduce cravings, and it satiates you, makes you feel full longer. It almost tricks you into your stomach into thinking that there's more food in there than there actually is. So sometimes those can have a benefit, but again, it's missing the mark. So none of these are individually just causing natural weight loss. So what's the point of a supplement then? Is there supplements that actually can help you lose weight? And obviously, a bunch of the ones I've just mentioned in terms of blood sugar regulation and reducing fat storage around the organs, these are components of a weight loss program, but they're not in isolation. So we can't just lean on them individually as if they're going to solve your problems, that you're not going to have to change your diet or exercise. But there is some nuance here. There is some element where I actually find that certain supplements like inositol, for example, it can really kickstart a weight loss journey, because what it's doing is it's getting rid of a lot of the cravings that are an obstacle. So if you find that's like, you know what, I'm trying my best to eat better, I'm cutting out a lot of junk food, but I still, after dinner, I've got to have, a piece of cake or a cookie. I just can't give it up. Or midday, my energy is really low and I'm looking for something to kind of give me that adrenaline boost or just keep my energy up. I find that inositol is able to do that in a very effective and safe way. Inositol is a simple carbohydrate that is actually fuel for your liver. So I usually get people to take it first thing in the morning. And what they find is that their cravings for carbohydrates really reduce. And also the energy level, it tends to be much more stable throughout the day. So when they don't have these energy crashes at 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon, they're able to maintain focus and energy throughout the day. And they don't find that they need, a treat or extra coffees in the afternoon when after lunch they're getting a little bit of a crash. And so the inositol is actually staving that off. If we can do that, inositol is allowing for proper blood sugar control. The regulation and range of your blood sugar won't be as high and as low. It'll have a more narrow range, which will help prevent energy crashes, mood changes, cravings, and even like long-term, a lot of hormonal imbalances. Historically, inositol was used as a supplement to help correct PCOS, or polycystic ovarian syndrome. And so really, a lot of time people think, well, maybe it's helping with my hormones, and it is indirectly, but really what it's doing is trying to regulate how your blood sugar is feeding into some like hormonal imbalances. Long story short, inositol is going to help you lose weight, but it's not going to burn fat for you. It's just going to help reduce the diversion of carbs into the system. It's going to help your body also reduce its reliance and craving for carbohydrate. What else did I want to talk about? Okay. Another supplement that I actually think that is really effective in a weight loss journey is digestive enzymes. And the reason why I really focus on enzymes is that when I'm doing body composition analysis, one of the key factors in how quickly you can lose weight and how well you can increase your metabolic function is by the development and maintenance of muscle mass. Muscle mass is essentially the fuel for your metabolism. The more muscle that you have, the more your metabolic burn is going to be, assuming that you're using your muscles. That's sort of the caveat there. I tell everyone, if you're going to buy a car, and if you're a car enthusiast, you like fast cars or powerful cars, you're going to buy one that's got a bigger motor, a bigger engine. And our metabolic rate is our engine. But for us, our engine is based on how much muscle we have. Digestive enzymes are allowing an increased efficiency of assimilation of protein from our food. Just because we got protein on our plate, it doesn't automatically mean that we're taking it in efficiently and effectively. Most of us under periods of stress are underproducing stomach acid and enzymes. By taking a digestive enzyme, you're going to increase the amount of muscle you're developing because you're getting more protein into circulation. That factor alone makes digestive enzymes critical for any type of weight loss journey. So I encourage the use of enzymes with each meal because I want you to have protein at each meal. So now we're combining inositol, which is going to help regulate the cravings for carbohydrates and how carbs are metabolized in the body. And now we're adding something simple like a digestive enzyme that will help you break down your food more effectively. It's a great support to your digestive system and elimination of waste. It's going to increase the bioavailability of the protein in your foods that you're having. It's not that you need to necessarily upregulate and increase and double the amount of protein. All you're doing is just squeezing more protein out of the food that's on your plate, because if you're already eating it, there's no point for you to consume it if you're not absorbing it. So that's a rate limiting factor there. Another supplement that I use often for weight loss is adrenal support. Adrenal gland is an organ that's really poorly understood and overlooked because often only in terms of like a medical textbook, if you've got like Cushing's syndrome where your adrenal gland just does not work at all, that's the only time it's really recognized. But in the naturopathic spheres, what we're doing is measuring the effectiveness and the amount of cortisol and adrenal hormones that are being produced on a daily basis. What we're finding is that when someone is run down, if they are not getting good nutrition, good sleep, if they're under high periods of stress, they're going to be in an anabolic state where certain levels of cortisol and being released at inappropriate times of the day will upregulate the deposition of carbs into fat stores. So even though you're supposed to produce stress hormones, some of us are not producing them at the right amount at the right time of day. Some of us are overproducing it at night, not producing enough in the morning. And these are all cues that our body's under direct stress. And when our body's perceiving direct stress, it is in a absorb hibernation mode. So the next meal that you're having, your body thinks, I'm under attack. I better absorb all of these calories and store them because maybe I'm not going to have food. Who knows? So that's what I say is the hibernation effect, because we know that animals go through something similar when the cold weather comes and food stores are less available. So when they eat, they really hyperabsorb and store all those calories as fat. If we're under stress, we're doing the same thing. So now we've got a protocol of supplements where we're regulating blood sugar and our cravings. It's helping with hormonal balance. Now we've got an enzyme that's going to help us break down protein and increase our muscle mass so that our workouts are more effective. Our metabolic rate is going to increase. And it's going to also help us feel satiated and full, and it's going to help us regulate our bowels and keep regular that way. And then now with adrenal support, something that you can even just take once a day, that you're going to help reduce the negative effects of stress hormones that are going to lead to weight gain over time. So in a very neat way, I've identified supplements that are going to help you lose weight, but they're not burning the fat for you. They're reducing the deposition of fat. They're helping boost your energy levels throughout the day, so you actually have more motivation for exercise and more motivation and energy to meal prep. And then also those meals that you're preparing, you're going to be able to better digest them, which is sort of like what the whole point of all of this is. We want to make sure that your physiology is effective. You're digesting, you're metabolizing, you're burning, you're eliminating, and we're keeping stress levels in check, which these are all factors that when they're ignored are weight gainers. So we're taking away all these fuel lines that are leading to weight gain, because most of you that are struggling with weight, many of you are not morbidly obese because of overeating. A lot of it has to do with maybe excess carbs, insufficient protein. It could be timing of meals. It could be part of that cortisol cycle where it becomes a hormonal imbalance leading to more weight gain and the increase in fat cells. So the supplements I'm suggesting are going to help treat and correct all those imbalances so that your physiology is starting to recognize that I have a metabolic rate that wants to be active. My body wants to burn fuel. It doesn't innately want to store things. Storing weight is a sign of acute stress. So if we can reduce the body's experience of stress and help with how the adrenal gland is supporting these functions, now we're not in a pro-weight gaining state. Now we're in a weight burning or a calorie burning protocol, which is what we want our body to be feeling anyways. But in order to sustain that, you have to have a diet that's conducive to that, and you have to be physically active. And that's an area that a lot of people are concerned with because they're like, well, I walk. Isn't that enough? Or I clean my house. I'm tired at the end of the day. It's not really enough. What we're going to do is next week, we're going to have a special guest, Kaya Duff, our personal trainer, and she's going to be talking about what levels of exercise are critical to start losing weight, because some of us perceive it in different ways. We think, well, I did a great workout, but it's the same workout I've been doing for 10 years, and my body's sort of just habituated or used to it. What we're going to do is identify like trademarks or characteristics that we can personally measure in our training, that we can recognize that, oh, you know what, I hit some of my macros here. I hit some critical levels that I'm going to start burning calories. I know that I got a good positive workout in. It doesn't have to be exhausting. It doesn't have to be every single day. But Kai is going to help us identify those areas next week. So please tune in. I'm also going to just include a survey on our Instagram stories, gauging the level of interest and the type of support people are looking for their fitness journey, and how TriHealth can help you guys actualize that, whether that's just purely virtual through an app that we're developing, whether it's in-house, whether it's like weekly appointments, or whether it's just like kind of like a monthly check-in. Fill that out. I think there's like a draw, and some winners are going to get some kind of freebies from that as well. So look for that in the stories in the next hour or so. And thank you all for joining. I really enjoyed doing this series. It's going to be, God willing, something that's happening every week. And if you have any questions, just DM me directly on the account here. So thank you all. And we had a pretty good following today, and good luck in your weight loss journey.